Howdy, I'm Jason Lewis, and on this episode, we're road tripping the Dodge here to Chandler, Arizona to do a 4-day racing school at Bob Bondurant. All right, here we go. Yeah. This is going to be an exciting few days. I'm going to be hanging out there with my friends from PowerStop Brakes. Hunker in, this is gonna be a good one. Ooh, Arizona sign. So let me tell you a little bit about the week and why this is happening. So the folks over at PowerStop Brakes have embraced the automotive enthusiast lifestyle. They reached out to me over a year ago to help me put brakes on the Jeep for the first time. And I've been so happy with them. I put brakes on this truck, I've suggested them to friends, and I've just been really happy with the product and the guys behind the company. I consider them good friends. And then what happened was, during SEMA, they have a contest where in their racing simulator, if you set the fastest time, you win a week at the Bob Bondurant Racing School. So the guy that won that is getting his racing class this week, and the guys over at PowerStop called me up and said, hey, do you want to come hang out, take the class, shoot some video, show people what it's like to be around this group? And I went, of course I would. So I hopped in the truck. We're heading out right now. Well, we made it. We're here. We're at the Bondurant School here in Chandler, Arizona, and we're about to go in. This thing starts with class time. So we're running in. The guys are in the classroom. I'm a little bit late, so we're just going to haul butt in there, hop in the classroom, and I'll catch you guys up on the crew and what's going to happen soon. Come on in. All right, so this is the crew. Chris, introduce yourself.
Chris Miller, I'm the brand manager of PowerStop Brakes. This is Charlie Enslin. He's one of our sponsored drivers, driver in the Grid Life Series. My buddy Charlie, who won our SEMA driving simulator competition.
So those are my guys. Now it's time for some learning. The first class session broke down the very basics of race driving.
For every single corner that I drive through, I want to establish a point of reference for where I brake, where I turn, where I apex, and where I exit. And I use those points of reference to help me with my performance.
Then it was back outside for a quick tour of the facility, a look at some of the vehicles we'd be driving, and some history of Mr. Bondurant himself.
He started his racing career in 1952, racing motorcycles on the dirt.
After that, we hopped in a van to get a peek at some of the training courses.
Let's go ahead and make our way over to the main track.
That's a sound you don't not used to hearing in a van. And a mind-bending example of vehicle dynamics. You alright? You just did some insane stuff. Okay. In this, I swear to God, we were dragging the rockers on this thing.
What they call Mario Andretti.
It was now time to saddle up in the car we would spend most of the weekend, a Dodge Challenger Hellcat. And of course I chose the 6-speed manual transmission.
Hands, basically, you take your right hand, put it at the top of the steering wheel.
I was surprised to learn that the only modifications they make to these cars for this school is to put a slightly larger Goodyear tire under there, swap synthetic brake fluid in, and install a set of PowerStop Brakes track day pads into the stock calipers. This is kind of amazing considering the amount of abuse these cars take on a daily basis. Oh man, this is so much fun. I can't believe this! Bondurant, Hellcat, heel toe. Sideways. All right, that's a fun exercise. Whew, what's next? And that would be lunch, followed by a bit more of what they call ground school. And I will admit, there was a perfect balance of driving and class time during the week. Here, Canan O'Connell impart some knowledge on us before they let us loose on the track again.
You get the most outside of the car by doing the least amount of work, really, when you're inside the cockpit.
Then we buckled back into our Hellcats for some practice hitting apexes. For the newbies, that's the point of a turn where the car is closest to the inside, and figuring out where that spot is and getting the car there are crucial to going fast.
Woo, okay, I gotta focus. This is really tough. I really want to learn a bunch, but I want to share this with you guys, so it's hard to do all these things at once. But I don't know if you guys are car guys, but I get that little bit of nerves first time out on the track, no matter what I'm doing. And then you get a couple laps where you get rolling a little bit, and it all just starts clicking in, and then it's just go time. It's time to focus. Eyes over to the apex. Kiss the paint, that's that squeal. Looking to an apex, looking to the exit. We've got a lot of apex that time. Is it weird that I actually was nervous a second ago and now I feel relaxed?
So day one would finish up with us spending more time in the Hellcats buttoning down the basics. All right, so it's morning of day 2 of this class in this amazing week. And, you know, I have to say that last night, my overall impressions of yesterday, the first day of the school, was the few techniques I really want to resonate. I want to work on the vision, the looking in the right place, and of course all of the driving techniques, the things that I haven't done in so long. And these cars are just amazing and slightly intimidating because they have all that power, but it's just kind of fun to get familiarized with it, get more comfortable with the power and just letting the tires slide and all of this stuff. It's great. It's just so much fun to be here. The guys are awesome. You guys met Charlie and Charlie, and of course Chris over there. So it's been, you know, like one of these amazing little experiences. I'm looking forward today because today we start ramping up the speeds. But before they would turn us loose on the track again, we would spend some time in what they call the skid car. A Dodge Charger with hydraulic wheel lifts on all 4 corners. Sounds pretty fun, right?
That was outer clip too, guys.
The genius behind this learning tool is to create under or oversteer situations in a relatively low impact way on the vehicle, but a very impactful way on the driver and passengers.
Just try and be very aggressive. And that shows you being efficient on the front side, though. It's fun. Yeah. It's just we're out of control.
Finally, it was time for us to unleash the Hellcats on the racetrack. It didn't take long for me in the number 22 Challenger to hook up with Charlie from our PowerStop group in the number 23 for a little game of chase.
Oh, this is so fun when you have a guy who's faster than you in front of you. I'm learning, I'm going faster. This is great. Go Charlie, thank you. Pushing it pretty hard, which is fun. This is good stuff. He totally rails me right there. And I think that's just bravery. He's a brave dude. Here, I'm learning from him. became like best buddies because we did like 100 laps nose to tail. And
Dogfight.
Yes, you kept pulling on me, then I would rein you in. And then all of a sudden it equalized where you were in the places I knew I was going to catch you. Yep. You figured it out. And went faster. I was like, no! And then he like kept at me.
That's because of him.
Yeah. It was awesome. Exhilarating.
Good job, guys.
So, it's morning of day 3. This whole trying to talk and drive a Hellcat on a racetrack is proving to be difficult. Good morning, it's day 3. And we just got off the skid pad in the Charger skid car with the outriggers. And we are now on the track for our getting ready, getting warmed up, getting prepped for our next day. And I gotta tell you, last night I couldn't help but just keep thinking about all the things I learned yesterday and all the little areas for that have room for improvement out here. And it's just this amazing process. And I can't wait to apply some of that stuff. And then we did a little classroom stuff this morning. Like this turn right here, no brakes. Ugh. It's stuck. See, there you go. Yesterday I hit the brakes every time right there. Just had a session, you know, thought about it last night while driving, and you were talking about driving techniques and stuff last night at dinner. Came out, got in the first session, and I found a couple of weak spots again. Like right away, I was like, I'm struggling here, struggling here. The instructor gets in, helps you clean those up, and that process is so good for you. Like, you know, that like surfers call it that moment of Zen, where you can't think of anything else but getting in the wave, getting in the pocket, and surfing. This is the same thing.
Out here, a lot of times people call it the aha moment.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah. And once you learn the techniques, you start to see your shortcomings out there, and you start to see where you're band-aiding bad technique with worse technique.
To recover from being too deep or whatever,
Correct. So you start looking at those compensations you're making, and you're like, why am I doing that? And you go back 2 or 3 steps, and all of a sudden you see, hey, I actually screwed something up 30 seconds ago, and that's why I'm doing this now, or 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, and that's a great process. It's like, I'm trying to like explain to the people out there that not just if you're a race car driver, just do this. It's a great thing to go through, you know. It forces you to get out of your comfort zone, grow, learn, add skills, and all that stuff.
Here's an example of one of the instructors hopping right in the Hellcat with me to give me some corrections and instructions right exactly where I need them on track.
Just smooth. Michael Jackson, even though he's dead, he's still the king. Just squeeze. A little more, take some wheel out. There you go. That's it. In unison. Throttle, steering wheel. There you go. Nice. Early. Off early. Squeeze. There you go.
Okay.
Sometimes remember, you got to go slower to go faster.
After more practice, it was all starting to add up. I was going faster than ever and would end this day having an absolute blast.
Now this, fun. Go for the tire wall. Start looking forward. Trail brake mania right here. Looking for my apex. Look at that. I can't believe I just did that. Get some throttle down and just keep it down. When do you get to hold the pedal flat in a Hellcat for that long? Come on. Turn in. Okay, it's morning of day 4. This is our final day out here. We've been wheeling, we've been getting faster, I've been feeling better. I'm a little tired. I mean, you know, let's just be honest, we have done a lot of laps. And your brain, and it's not physically, I'm not physically tired. These cars aren't hard to drive. It's power everything. It's great, actually. But you just exert everything, and you're tense when you're doing things, and that was one of those things I kept working on. So the week has just been this learning overload, and it's fantastic. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. It's just it takes a lot out of you. You don't realize it. So today, on the final day of class, we are going to be running the Formula Mazda cars. And that's a rotary engine, 4-speed, open wheel with aero. So it's got a front and rear wing. That is going to just I've never driven anything like that. So this is going to be really an interesting transition and very active and super fast. So it's going to be a really, you know, just like the rest of the week, a unique once-in-a-lifetime experience. So I'm looking forward to it.
Since the Formula Mazdas are full-tilt race cars, we all suited up into the appropriate racing attire. PowerStop video guy Kyle couldn't resist having us do the slow-mo walk to the garage. So we did. We then picked out our rides for the day and got familiar with the anatomy of these purebred racers. It was time to light these things up and hit the track. The Formula cars are a blast to drive, and it didn't take long to get comfortable enough to push hard and test the limitations of the car and of all my new skills.
So the goal of this session is just to clean up, go a little bit faster. I talked to some of the boys, and Charlie both were carrying different gears in different corners, and I was thinking, darn, they're going faster than me. So now the challenge to me is to clean things up, try to kind of see if I can keep up with them or gain a little bit more speed and better myself. So we'll see if we can.
By the afternoon session, I was able to bring it, and neither of the guys could get away from me. Wow, I feel like I did get a little bit faster. I got to run with Charlie for a moment. I had a little bit of traffic, so then I just ended up going and just running a little bit and cleaned some stuff up, and that was the fun part. What an incredible week. Made new friends, drove awesome cars, and finished the Bob Bondurant Grand Prix racing course. Gave me plenty to think about when I jumped in my truck and headed back to California. So all in all, this was an amazing experience. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope to bring you a bunch more. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to the AutoEdit YouTube channel. Like and share this video for me. I'll bring you on a lot more adventures. We got how-tos. We got a lot of stuff going on. This, I got to tell you, this Bondurant class has inspired me to get that Mustang going. I want to get it to a grid life here soon. Wait till you guys see what that is. So, thanks again for watching. Enjoy your drive, heading off into the desert.